streaming and online on YouTube and Facebook.
All right, welcome to All Sides of Kennebec. I'm one of your hosts, Sean.
And I'm Jeremy.
And today we have Scott McAdoo in the shared studio. Welcome to the studio.
Hello, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Definitely, and you are the president of the Kennebec Messalonskee Trail Board. See, I knew I was going to mess it up.
Yeah.
I knew it. But anyways, so I wanted to invite you on today to discuss a little bit about the trail systems that we have in the Central Maine area here out of, well, I guess Waterville would be the center point of it.
Yeah, Waterville has the most, and then we have some then Winslow has the next that's got the most. Then we have a couple in Oakland and Fairfield, and then we have some in a couple in Benton.
And I know before the show here we were discussing a little bit of how intricately woven this partnership of these trails are. Who else is involved with these trail systems?
Well, I know Corey Road is involved on our maps. We include them, but they actually have their own board, and they're actually a partnership through the city with that board. And as far as some of them, I know there's one in Oakland, which is actually the school, but it's run by the school, but it's actually part of our system. So
That's cool. We walk that a lot.
And then, of course, like a lot of the private, most of the trails is actually on private land or private owners. So we have a lot of partnerships with, a lot of landowners and private
that is
entities.
an awesome aspect to have. I mean, I know using the trails like snowmobiling in the winter, there's a lot of respect that you have to give these landowners to allow the public to come and use them. And I know, has that ever been a challenge?
It has. I mean, we actually, most of the trails, if you look, I don't know if anybody walks the one behind North Street. There's that spot where if you actually walk, there's a couple little trails and paths that come from a house and go down to the water.
Okay.
And there's signs that basically say, this is part of the trail. Basically we stay on the path. So I guess that goes to show, like I said, it does cross through.
How long is that one on North Street? Are you talking about the one that goes from the tennis part to where they have the gardens?
No, actually it goes from if you walk across from the hospital, where that parking lot is, and then that one.
That's where that little garden is, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it goes actually, I think it's at the end of Edgemont Street.
Yep.
Oh,
It
wow.
starts
The,
right there.
yeah, the dead end part there.
Yeah.
Wow. It was further than I thought.
It's quite a ways,
And
and,
then
it's all
actually-
paved too.
Yeah, and it's
that is an awesome.
That's
awesome
actually going to be renamed because it's part of a different system. It's going to be the whole trail system. That's actually what we call the Waterville Connector Trail.
Okay.
Which, if you look, I don't know if you've seen if you walk through Main Street, I think you come down. I think at Center Street, you'll see signs that say trail.
Yeah, these are the ones that are on the regular sidewalk through the city.
That is actually a trail that actually connects from there, goes down, and then goes across to Corey Road.
Oh, wow.
In their system. So it's part of and that used, like I said, that was called the Waterville Connector Trail, which is, we're actually kind of cutting it. I don't want to say we're cutting it off. It's still part of but because the new story walk that's on the North Street section of the trail, we're actually going to, now it's the Waterville Community Trail.
Okay.
Oh, so there's a story walk?
Yeah, there's actually, I think it was a library, Rotary, a few others, I'm not sure.
Is it there permanently? They just swap
it's
it out?
actually, it's there permanently, and I think, like I said, you can find more about the library, and I think
That's
every
awesome.
so often they'll swap out the story, and
Yeah, I was gonna say, because coming around the part by the tennis court, they just put brand new ones in. It's look, see, or was that the old one? I'm not sure.
that might be the old one.
I think that may have been the old
There
one.
was part of there painted on the ground, what they called it was an activity trail.
Yeah, it was kind of like a few hopscotch type things.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
And then that kind of faded, but we're actually trying to get that going. And then
Yeah, I know my little one really enjoyed that.
if you look at the signs along the side, the different signs are like a little story. That's the actual story walk, and they've done certain things with it. So
And I know that they've done a lot of work with beautifying the trails with the barriers. I don't know if they're, what would you call those? The fences, fence lines?
the wooden fence. It's more of like a safety thing, but yeah, it does make it look, more.
It really does. It gives it that look of it's nice.
Right.
It's appealing to the eye for sure.
Yeah, it's aesthetically pleasing.
And I think over the years that this has really turned into an amazing thing for the city and the residents here.
So I know like the other big trail that's used, if you look, is the what they call the Winslow Community Trail and
that's the one that runs
the Rotary Centennial. It runs somewhere the old on Benton Avenue used to be part of the what they call Scale House.
Okay.
Where the Scale House used to be for the.
That's where the Taconnet Bank used to be. I think it's. I don't think it's Taconnet anymore, but up in that area.
It's new
right?
to me. Yeah, it's by there, and then actually runs down, and that actually trail goes along, and then you go about halfway. There's like a parking lot area, and then that one turns into then that becomes a Rotary Centennial Trail.
That is an awesome trail. We walk that one almost every morning.
And that trail actually goes all the way up to actually in Benton. It comes out right on Cromit Street.
Yeah, and then it would connect over to the.
Yeah, if you want to continue, go across the bridge, and you can get you can have Mill Island.
Yeah, Mill Island.
So, do you currently have that on your website, like the trails?
We've got the old map.
Gotcha.
Which is a 2014 version, which actually, if you want me to transition that, I can. We've actually been working on a new map. We're hoping to have it out hopefully beginning of summer. We're still trying to.
What's the process you guys have had to go through with making these maps?
Well, for instance, like, some of them like just, the new trails and walk them, and, then we gotta, make sure the landowners that we have everything, let's say if a trail's going like through a certain section, they don't, we don't want you going here, but we don't mind if you go here.
Right.
So then you gotta try to, reroute it, move it. Then, then of course, if like the map, we have descriptions. Mm-hmm. So, we want to like put,
I was going to say, you guys have done a really good job on the write-ups of the descriptions.
So, for instance, like we have, a certain part of the trail that something was there for years. I don't know if you remember years ago, it's been removed. It was on the website, I think it said something about, the Kennebec, Messalonskee Stream Trail. So if you look across, you can see the old Cascade Woolen Mill.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then of course that got removed, that had the fire, so that's been removed. That's been rewritten. So a lot of it's just basically writing, seeing what's there, seeing maybe if something's been something has been added or what we can take away.
I know over the last few years, I've seen a lot of work going down in on the Oxbow Trail. Yeah,
that's actually we're actually trying to get that trail back going again. I mean,
I was gonna say
that was like a lost, as they used to call it, lost gem. I mean, people used to use it, but they never. Really, it wasn't well known.
Yeah, it was definitely a locals.
Yeah.
And where is this?
You know where Cool Street is?
Yep.
You know where Oak Grove?
Yep.
It's almost directly across from Oak Grove. It's right.
You would use the parking lot of the church right there.
Yeah, the Lutheran Church, right?
The Lutheran Church.
And if you look, there's actually a sign that says trailer.
Oh.
And if you look, there's like
it goes down behind the dam on the other side.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is that still active?
Oh yeah. There's people that there's people that use it. In fact, we actually went down there because we got somebody that actually wants to go down and do a cleanup on the trail for
now if I remember right,
people on it.
Did part of it flood out recently, or was that last year or something like that?
It floods a little bit. That one.
I remember hearing something about
Lehman. That one did. There was some drainage, sewage, work issues, but that. We worked with the sewer district. They came and fixed that up, so that's
awesome.
Not a problem. As
you guys have you guys get quite a bit of help too, between I guess who all helps you guys do this?
We have local groups. Like I said, I know the group that's going to help us soon is going to be one of the Rotary groups.
Okay.
We've had Temple Academy. They have I can't remember what they call it. I ain't gonna try, but it's like a group of students that go out and I think it's like an outreach team or
cool.
They call it. And last year they came out onto Lehman Island, which is down by the Hathaway, and actually cleaned up quite a bit.
So is that awesome. What they're helping you do mostly is helping clean the trails?
Up
and that's a big thing. And is there a lot of cleanups that you guys do on the trails? Is this typically something that people can?
Yeah, anybody wants help clean up. Basically, it's just basically like kind of a need basis. I mean, somebody messages us on our Facebook page, says, hey, I'm going to just pick a trail. They came out like, since we're talking Oxbow, hey, Oxbow Trail is trashed. needs to be cleaned up, then if, somebody else will go down there. It's like, yeah, this could be a cleanup. Sometimes we'll put on our page, hey, we're gonna have a cleanup day.
Okay.
Anybody wants to come down, please come down and help and clean it up.
And this is the group page, correct?
Yeah,
because
I
look. Do you guys have a business page part?
We
to
do.
It?
We're actually trying to work on it.
Okay.
It's actually Kennebec, kmtrails.info.
Okay.
Is actually, and like I said, we're actually trying to work on sprucing that up.
So that might be the website, but I think what he's talking about is on Facebook, like a Facebook page.
We actually don't really have a Facebook page. We use the group more than anything.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I just wanted to make sure that I linked to the right thing when I posted.
Yeah.
So does that allow?
Okay.
So do people, like, say for instance they want to like help? Can they join the Facebook page?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they can join the Facebook page, and like I said, we usually do a post.
Page, but group.
A group. Yeah, we can. Then they can join. Then we'll post, and we'll say the times will be there if they want to come and help.
And I know another thing too that you guys have been doing great with that I've really found helpful is the doggy bags. I noticed that because a lot of the trails are dog friendly as long as they're leashed, of course. I know that it's posted on I think all the trails.
Yeah, some of them we actually have. If you see, I think somebody posted a picture of the sign, but we actually have some new rule signs which are. They're nice. If you get a chance to go down, scroll, and look at it. But it's got pictures, and it says like that's actually going to go up on all the trails at some when we can actually get them up, and some kind of new rules. And one of them is on there. Yeah, I think it's clean up after your pet, and then
right.
Dogs
makes sense.
Dogs must be on a leash, and your typical
the usual run of the mill stuff.
Yeah,
nothing crazy.
Your signage, do you just print something and then what, laminate it?
Some of them are laminated. We're trying to actually get kiosks. Kiosks. Thank you. At all the trails, and
it's a weird plural word.
I know.
Yeah. And we put signs up. The signs will go up in there. Then of course, like announcements, like the trails and different things.
I'm sure if in order to have a kiosk, it has to maybe be a big enough trail to justify the cost.
Well, most of these trails. They do have. I really don't think the Oxford might be the smallest one. Maybe.
Yeah, that's fairly small. There's a few I know that
I was gonna say.
What's the most traveled one?
I want to say I think the most traveled.
The one over in Winslow, maybe.
No.
North
yeah,
Street?
I think it's probably a toss up between North Street is. I've heard fairly well, but I think the East Kennebec Rotary Centennial Trail,
and
I think is the most.
I mean, that one, it's not a paved trail. The Bicentennial, is that or
the East Kennebec Trail? The East Kennebec section is kind of a rustic, padded down. I mean,
it's nice and flat though.
Yeah, I mean that trail
really
has
compact.
some roots. I mean, and then I'm not talking about the Rotary Centennial Trail. That's more. I want to say it's like a very hard packed gravel.
Yeah, it's nice, and. There's a few little bridges on that one.
Yeah,
I think right in the beginning there's one. I think that is the only one there. But it also another cool part about that trail is when you get up into it, I believe it used to be an old railroad.
Yeah, actually, you can actually see part of the. If you look at almost right at the beginning with that little, if you go off, there's a tangent. Like you go off, there's like the disc.
Yeah, you can see where the bridge was.
You can actually see where the railroad bridge did go across.
It's a really, really interesting area for sure. And there's a lot of great people out there, too. When I can, I like to get out there in the morning, probably like 7, 8 o'clock. And there's usually a good group out there walking.
I think the Messalonskee Stream Trail, that's fairly heavily traveled as well. That's a nice trail that people love.
Yeah, I use that one quite a bit, too.
Me too.
Because that one's right behind my house pretty much.
I mean, we've heard a lot of people say, it's one of those, a lot of the trails but that's particularly one of them where if you go out, you're still in town.
Yeah.
But you almost feel like you're out in
the
woods.
It has that
quiet.
canopy cover to the trail, which is I guess it gives it that New England feel.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I know, like, that was one of the selling points when we moved on Roosevelt back, this would have been 98 when we moved here. Yeah, we moved here to, the end of 97, it was the beginning of 98, so yeah, we moved into the ice storm pretty much. But
good times.
Yeah, Roosevelt used to have that canopy look before the ice storm came, and then they had to cut everything out. But yeah, that was one of like the sales points of why we bought the house we did. But yeah, it gives it that old New England feel, and it's nice, and it's like you were saying, it's very accessible, and it's just real easy to get to.
And I remember even like you go, I don't think most people been on the Lehman Island Trail. But
I've not.
That's actually
Which one's that one?
That's the one by the Hathaway by the Hathaway.
Mm-hmm.
You go in the end of the Hathaway parking lot. There's
Okay,
like a little
yeah, you go
dirt
right.
parking lot. Yeah, and you go down. That one's kind of hard to get to because sometimes in the spring if it floods.
So
Yeah.
like
That's
the
underwater.
Hathaway parking lot that's been redone, like where everyone like the businesses
yeah,
go.
if you
or
go all the
one
way
back?
Yeah, you go all the way down to the end.
Yep.
There's actually about where the dam is. If you look, there's like a little dirt parking lot out to the side.
Off to the
Okay.
right there.
Yeah, and then it's actually you park in there. Then the trail goes down
Oh,
through there. There's a sign that actually says green sign, one of our trail signs that points to you
nice.
in the back.
Okay.
But we actually one of the groups, the Temple Academy group that was there. We went on the island when the kids comes out, and he's looking around, and because once the ferns start coming up, it gets that
Yeah, it gets kind of
that
hidden.
jungly feel. And when the kids comes out, he's looking, and they say the things that comes out of some kids' mouths comes out, and he goes, "Where are the raptors?" And then it didn't dawn me, but if you remember, I think it was 3 where the raptors come jumping
does,
out
yeah.
the tall grass.
Yeah, it kinda does.
It had that look like
Oh, that's too funny.
like a jungle look, and then we've had a group on there one time and says
That's funny.
this would be a perfect trail to film a new Predator movie because again it just has that jungly.
Yeah, long grass
Yeah.
kind of thing.
It is, yeah, because it's got that one like overflow part.
Yeah.
Fiddleheads go down in there too
Oh.
in a few spots, but yeah, it goes. Is where the old stairs that come up? Is that where it ends, or does it keep
No,
going
actually,
past
right
that?
now there's actually it's Lehman Island. That section is because there's actually like a little gully that cut out of the years and made it into an island, and it's actually taller.
Okay,
There is a plan. Again, this is a future plan down the road.
future plan.
Is to kind of build a bridge across that section
Oh, that would
to
be
then
neat.
connect
That'd be cool.
to the other part of the
Okay.
stairs.
Yeah, that would be kind of. Yeah, I was gonna say because it is a little difficult to
Yeah.
cut down in through there, but
At least, the first section we actually had a bridge built quite a
Yeah.
few years ago. With,
Wow.
it's a decent bridge too. So
it's very rugged. It ain't going
yeah,
And it's
anywhere.
it's
still
not
there?
going nowhere. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's still there, yeah.
It's a good one.
Wow.
They definitely put some effort into building that one for sure.
Yeah,
I
Waterville
think
has a
it'll-
lot of hidden gems.
Absolutely, and I'm really thankful that you've come on to discuss some of these more hidden ones because moving out, you said there's a few out in Oakland.
Well, yeah, there's the schools, the ones I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah,
but
by the high school,
by
like
the Messalonskee,
Eagle
yeah.
Trail, and
yeah.
Now that the one that I'm thinking of would be the one right behind City Hall. It starts there, and then it
Yeah,
would
down
That's
end.
inside,
that's
like,
the
the little
Messalonskee
gully.
Stream Trail.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
that's
a really long trail.
yeah, it is.
that actually starts. Believe it or not, starts right there, winds around, actually goes on some ATV trails, and
Yeah.
it comes back on our trail, and actually comes out on the Rice Road.
Yep,
Right where the I don't know if people know what
the tubes.
is penstock. It's actually called.
Oh, it does have a
It's
name.
a
Oh.
penstock. Yeah.
I just always called it the
And
tube.
actually, what's weird is you look because a lot of people figure it's leaking. If you actually get up close to that thing, you'll realize that's made out of wood.
yeah,
Oh, really?
yep.
It's made out of wood, and especially
It's kind of neat how they plug the holes in it.
Huh.
and we actually have a lot of pictures on our page. Actually, I took a few. There's a few of mine, a few others of that thing in the wintertime just
Yeah,
bubbling out, and there's just freezes, ice coming out
I
of
know,
all the
it's so
holes,
cool.
and
it is kind of. It's neat how that was built, and like I was saying, it's kind of one thing that I found interesting is how they patch the holes when they get bad. They just put like a new band over it, and then they put like a piece of I don't know if it's a shim or
I think it's like it was almost to me like house shingles
right,
or something.
and
Just
then they
tighten it up, and
they use a little tar, and then
That's
they
funny.
tighten it up, and it doesn't leak anymore.
then a couple
Wow.
months down the road,
Another
next
one
to
will
it
pop
breaks
up. Yeah.
and pops off, and you got another
I
new leak.
I drive by that road all the time, so
But
because I live in Oakland, but
I would imagine that thing's probably grown a little bit. I would imagine over the years because it's been there for.
Yeah, I can't remember this picture. I think on their
It's been there a
page
long
of
time.
years. Yeah, it's been.
Because I know they used to. I want to say there was a turbine that they used to make power over in that area.
There still is.
With
If you
it.
look,
Okay,
if
so
you
it
actually
is
go
still
across that's still working. And actually, the
I know that they just rebuilt the power structure to the whole
Yeah.
area right there.
and they're actually, if you go at the beginning of that trail, that little hot building there, the nice big stained glass windows, is actually a turbine.
Yeah, that's an interesting building too, because if you like go up on the trail part, you can look up down into it, and it's like a huge reservoir that the tube connects to. It's kind of neat how it works, and then it fills up, and then it's all done by gravity.
We're actually looking, hopefully, try to get the history, try to figure something out. But I was actually shocked when I first went on the trail. Somebody told me that was actually the site of Oakland, I think it was Oakland Power Company.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Who later became
CMP?
Central Maine
Yep.
Power.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of
But,
history
it's just,
there.
history of, you don't realize that Central Maine Power actually started in Oakland. Now they're a big statewide company.
Right.
But, we have another little hidden gem on the, it's not a trail, but it's part of the trail.
Right.
You can go and see, hey, this is where Oakland, CMP started.
Oakland has some pretty cool history.
Yes,
Used to
they
make
do.
all the axes in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one.
If I remember correctly, it used to be called like South Waterville too.
It was
Yes.
part of Waterville one
Yep,
time,
yep.
yeah.
It was, yeah.
So they broke
Because
off.
I remember part of the tram
Yeah.
cart had what you were just saying, East Waterville or something.
Yeah, I think it was
label
South
in it,
Waterville or
something like that.
Mm.
Have to look.
Then it became
But-
Oakland, and then it became some big axe creating area.
Then you had Cascade for years, which at one time you can actually see from our trail. Well, you can technically still see it, but
Yeah.
it ain't looking as pretty as it did.
No, it
Back
was a
in
really
before.
cool looking old building.
Yeah, because I remember on that long trail there, right behind the Public Works of Oakland, there used to be a rope swing down in there years ago.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's there anymore, but it was a pretty decent rope swing, and we used to hate walking the trail because it was like a mile to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to just swim across. It was
That's
a lot
funny.
quicker, but yeah. But
I'm not a swimmer. I do
No.
not do rope swings.
That's it had it was a good one. I mean, it had the ladder, a platform, and then another ladder with another platform. Yeah,
Holy
it was
cow.
a big one.
Go
So-
big or go home.
Yeah,
I haven't been
but,
on that little trail in a while, so I don't even know if it's still there or not.
No, I know. I went out to it years ago. It was gone, and then I came back, and there was a little rope, and then so I think, but the whole structure building thing, I'm pretty sure if you built it, it'd probably disappear real quick because I'm
yeah.
sure the town wouldn't want the responsibility
Oh,
of
right.
someone getting hurt.
Everything's a liability
liability
these days.
issue. It's not like it was 20 years ago,
Right, when you could have that kind of stuff and it wouldn't get touched.
but it's I like being able to walk by the area now because, like, even like you were saying, I don't think I could swim it now. I'd probably drown halfway. But it's nice to be able to look down and be able to see in that area. But there are a lot of. It's nice because when you get towards the other side where the tube is, it's like a pine wood.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of neat how the demographic of trees change from just the maple oak type to like pine.
Right.
So because it also makes for a really nice area to walk, like just in the woods, because it doesn't allow the vegetation to grow up as high. So I find that kind of neat because all the pine needles
Yeah,
knock it all
actually-
down.
Peter sees this, he'll probably kill me. I think I'm butchering the name. But there's actually, if you go down Lehman Island, if you can see, you're talking about trees, they think he says like the bittersweet vine.
Okay.
But it's actually a vine that actually will, what it does, basically it wraps around trees,
I've seen,
twist it,
yeah.
and it'll choke the trees out and kill them.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But it's weird if you actually go on that trail.
They almost look like they're part of the tree too.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
So
eventually
it's-
become part of the tree,
it's
but there's
interesting.
there's
how-
actually a tree that has been so wrapped around it that this tree is literally hanging like this.
Wow.
But it's being held up. These
By the-
vines have twisted around it so much, it's holding that tree up.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
You can actually see where the tree's ripped out of the ground, but, it's one of those things where if you cut those vines, that tree is
Yeah,
coming
it's
down.
gone.
Yeah.
It's
But,
gone.
just go show you, like, amazing how nature, and
It
these
evolves.
vines aren't that big. I mean, some of these vines, they're only like that big around.
Yeah.
But,
It evolves over time.
Just you get 4 or 5 of those together, it's like it's a,
Really strong.
yeah.
That's so cool.
I mean, this tree is a big diameter tree. I mean, it's something that, as they say, if it falls, you're going to know it kind of thing. You'll hear it.
Does it make does a
Yeah.
tree make a sound if no one's around?
Yeah, exactly.
But so then I would imagine part of the trails also go up into Kobe, so that would be a partnership.
Kobe is
too.
part of our system, yeah. Again, Kobe maintains their section, but they're actually included in our map. They're we include them part of our system. Things like KVCC, they're actually they have their own trail, but again, they're part of our system.
Yeah, we were just there last week.
Yeah, we were just up that way. But
is that part of like the Goodwill stuff? Is that all the you talking about those KVCC
the
trails
ones on campus.
On 201?
Yeah,
the ones that actually
campus.
the ones that actually on campus.
I think where the house. Okay. I want to say where that the granite house is. I think that might be part of it.
I don't know.
Once you get past that certain point, maybe.
So are you talking about the campus though on 201?
The campus. Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Don't quote me. But
I want to say that's what the map has.
But yeah, they got quite a. I haven't gotten over to the college sides trails, but I know I have picked fiddleheads down and over that way. But it's a nice area in that area too. I don't know too much about that area other than moving back into Mill Island there. Mill Island has some pretty good history too.
Yep.
And they were just at the beginning of the
That's the one by the bridge, right?
Yep. They were they were clearing out quite a bit at the beginning of the year.
Really?
And that was being done by Fairfield.
Yeah, they help us, man. And they help.
I want to say they were burning stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I know they had like a little playground there at one point.
Yep, it's
in the park anyway.
I want to say it's still there.
I think it's still there. Yeah, I was there a couple last year, and it's still. And see, that's the biggest thing. You get a lot of our trails, like because of the trees, we have to, cut. If they fall, they have to be cut and moved. And again, it's always too
a lot of maintenance.
Exactly. You get the biggest thing is I know a lot of people on Facebook get mad. Hey, they're cutting this swath of trees. Well, the trees they're cutting are actually trees that either are dying or
pose a risk,
or
it might be dead already.
It's too overgrown. It's basically too overgrown. Where we, you've got to try to thin some of it out, and we've again, like I said, you want to give people views and kind of stuff, and it's. Even like the trails, the biggest thing we have our trails is, we'll go down, like let's say we could go down today and cut, the path and clear the sides of the path.
Yep.
We'll go back down there at the end of June.
Right. Yeah, that's got to be one of the most difficult part is there's so much actual trails that you're never done.
Right, exactly.
And you never know what needs to be done unless someone tells you.
Yeah, that's why a lot of times we rely on like I said, on the Facebook group, I think if you see something,
I think too with some of the partnerships like Waterville and stuff, they have some of the tools to do a lot more of the heavier.
Right.
lifting.
Yeah, sometimes we do have private companies we have to hire to get some of the trees out.
I would imagine
arborists probably or something.
And actually, a quick little story. There's actually on Lehman Island there was a big tree, and we're talking big tree. You ain't moving this thing.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about.
It ended up coming down across the actual original trail. And we're like, okay, we're going to have to go down there, clear this trail, clean this thing out. No. People actually literally made a path around the fallen tree, a new path to get around it. You go down there now, it's like a lot of people looking at where the heck's this path, And we end up going down to help it, but you can see now where people were going through and actually cut a new path to continue the trail. So
is the tree still there?
It's still there. That tree is not. The only way that tree's coming out of there is if we get, hopefully, as they say, we don't get one like you did in 87, but if we get like a big flood in 87, that tree decides to float down to the Atlantic Ocean, no, that tree is not going anywhere.
Wow.
Even then,
you're going to need, I don't know if you ever see some of the pictures, the old school lumberjacks up in the county.
Yep. Yeah, it's one of those trees.
These big they get these like big 72-inch chainsaws.
Yeah.
That's the one you're getting them out of there because, that tree is huge.
It's a big tree. It is.
Very old school.
But so there is a little bit of a trail if you go down onto the dead end part of water down by the baseball field. There's a little bit of a trail over there.
That's a trail we're actually working on.
Okay.
We're actually partnering. Again, that's kind of a partnership with a few people that some from the Land Trust, the Vice President Land Trust, and a few others.
Okay.
And we're actually working on, hopefully, that's it. Right now, it's kind of a proposed trail. It's actually not a set trail, but we're hoping by the fall.
I was going to say, I noticed that, like, coming around the corner there, looking down in, they've done quite a bit of cutting, so.
Yeah, we're working on.
So, how does a trail become part of a trail through you guys? What's the process?
Basically, a lot of it is proposed, we'll go and local like, hey, there's land that's not used. It's right along the river. Then of course, then it starts the process of, okay, find out who the landowners are.
Right.
Talking to landowners, say, hey, we'd like to have a trail come through here. Would you be interested? If they say yes, then it's, then of course you got to find grant funding, and then you get that, you get the help, and then eventually, and as it keeps going, it becomes.
Do you guys just like adopt trails?
Not
that are currently that some organization might not want to deal with anymore.
Not really. We try not to. I mean, we'll put them in our system, but we have a few of the trails. We have what they call trail bosses, which they're more or less like the head maintenance guy.
Okay.
They'll go down there, they'll walk the trail on occasion, and they'll do certain things here and there, and and of course, like I said, if there's like a big tree across, then they'll get more maintenance, or but it's, let's say they need to be cleaned up, then come back to the group, say, hey, the trail's going to be beyond my capacity to clean this thing up.
Right.
And we have a trail, a cleanup day.
Yep.
We'll organize that. And but yeah, they're more or less, they're like our eyes.
Right. They're out there more than you
Yeah,
guys are
right.
going to be. Do you guys like maintain them in regards to like treating them for ticks or anything like that? Do you do
You would
that?
never be able to.
Yeah.
I mean, most
I
of the
didn't
trails
think
we have, I mean, yeah,
That's Maine, so.
I mean, even like the biggest thing, like a lot of people last year, the big brown-tailed moss. So like,
That
that was bad.
we
I heard.
can't treat. We could. It's one of those things like anybody
it's
knows.
nature.
Right,
That's what
you
was
can
gonna
treat
be-
them and then turn around again a month down the road and
Right.
Yeah,
they're
they
back.
are,
they
yeah.
moved a lot. They move.
Yeah. Well,
So it's just
they're
the
insects. They're-
only thing you can do again, like what the city's doing, get the warning of, hey, it's brown-tailed moss season. Keep an eye out for them.
Education.
Yeah.
If you see them, don't touch them. They may look soft and cuddly, but they are not soft and cuddly. They are
Don't pet them.
a miserable little insect.
It's like
Keep the
I
treatment
saw
crap on you.
I saw a picture on Facebook recently, and it said, "Don't pet the fart squirrel," and a picture of a skunk. It was kind of it was kind of funny. So
Yeah, I think somebody sent me a picture one time because of the trails they knew, and it was a picture of a brown-tailed moth, and it said something. I may look soft, I may look cuddly, but if you pet me, I'll make your life a what. And then of course, then after that, the picture is basically it had like 3 pictures. It had one, then it had a guy, his hand, he's cuddling it. Then all of a sudden, it had the next guy, his hand was like all swollen up, and he's like almost like he's got the calamine lotion.
Right.
His hand, he goes, "This ain't helping."
no,
So it's like it was like one of those cute education pictures,
Right.
kind of. But it's like just a little,
they are. I mean, this is the crazy part about the brown tails is last year in one of my family members' pools, I'm assuming that a few of them got in. Well, the filter did what it was supposed to do, and it pulled them out.
Right. Makes sense.
Just from them being in the pool,
the hairs,
the
yeah.
hairs, all the kids broke out.
Seems like that's like a nuisance issue lately, but it never really seemed like it was a big issue before.
I don't.
What?
I don't think they've been as bad as they have been. I mean, we've probably heard about them, but
Like I never really even heard of what they
So,
were until like
yeah.
a
Are
year
they
or
native
2
to Maine?
years ago.
I'm not sure.
I'm-
That's something have to
I
look up.
don't
I'm not
think
sure
they're
if-
native to
No,
Maine.
I don't think so.
But they thrive here. I do know that.
Apparently,
But
they were all over Waterville.
yeah, I've seen a few pictures of people burning nests. So,
And that actually brings another thing about the trails too. Is we actually have on our page on the new rules about because again, if anybody wants to go into the group, we encourage them. We have a lot of beautiful photographs.
yeah, I was gonna say
I know there's a few.
you can put your pictures up.
Yeah, the only thing is, don't worry if you put them up. It's just they need to be approved by a group admin. But
They'll get to it.
oh yeah, once one of us sees it, we'll approve them. But if you look, I mean, we have some. I think I'm probably gonna butcher their names. I think it's like it's Tina Phillips Richards. She puts a lot on there. If you ever go, another nice. She has a lot of pictures of the eagles, a lot of nature pictures. Ryan Emery, he's another beautiful wildlife photographer that has some beautiful pictures of eagles and
Oh wow.
actually, and also to kind of go off that plug, if anybody goes on the page, if you've been noticing, I think I started back in November. We're actually featuring, once a month as far as the cover page. We're actually featuring some of those beautiful photos because it's got so many
Right.
that I think now is actually one of Tina's photographs of a robin.
Wow.
I don't know what I'm doing for June. I can't remember who it is, But again, there's a beautiful. Look for July's. It's one of those things where sometimes you'll see pictures and it's like I saw that, I'm like, that's perfect for July, the birthday month.
It kind of gives me.
It's going to be this calendar. It's going to be this big, beautiful eagle of his wings spread, flying over. I'm like, again, it's like I remember last month. If you saw it, we had a picture of I think it was I can't remember who put it up, but of Baxter. Enjoying one of his favorite trails on one of his favorite walks.
Nice.
So, which, like I said, and if you saw probably December, we had that the photo contest of, for the winter pictures to put, so we try to do, we're trying to actually feature a lot of these nice photographs that people take. And actually, I have to admit that I think I've decided June I'll feature one of my photos. I haven't a little biased there, but no, I mean it's a nice. I think it'd be a nice June picture. It's a nice one of the from Port Halifax Park looking at the Lockwood Dam. So
okay,
I couldn't find one that spoke to me. So I know I'm thinking I went to August. I just gotta reach out to them to ask if we can use the photos. And like I said, if anybody even wants to reach out to us, just message me. Even just putting your photo, if you put it up, say, hey, yes, you can use this for the, for a cover photo. We'd be definitely, and we get credit. I mean, I don't know if you're about Facebook. Unfortunately, when you put the cover photo, it's going to come out as my name as a poster because
right. Well, because you're the one that uploaded it as the photo cover.
Don't worry about it. In the thing we actually, I do write photo by, and then I tag the person in there, so that way, they're the ones that are getting the credit.
Yep.
Unfortunately, just how Facebook works.
Yep.
Right.
But and some, like I said, some of the photos I try to put.
Maybe a way to make some money for you guys.
I've actually been thinking about that. Do have featured. Yeah, I think some of the hospitals actually do that. I mean, like I said,
think it'd be a great way.
I've actually sat there and I tried to go through all the photos we've had on that page through the years, and I'm looking at my clock. I'm scrolling through this album.
Wow, there's
that
much, huh?
Well, for this one, I was scrolling through for an hour and 45 minutes, and I was in halfway through that page.
When was the group created? Do you know? Do you remember?
Actually, it was created in 2003.
2003.
Oh, wow.
I believe when it was incorporated. So actually, next year, KM Trails we haven't figured out what we're gonna do, but of course, 20 years we're gonna have to be, we're gonna have to kind of do a special year.
I would think so.
So
yeah.
I would definitely think so.
2003 was
That's
actually
awesome.
started.
But
it's going from there.
Anything else in the works?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing right now is June 4th this year.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's familiar with National Trails Day. It's actually a big national event. Everybody around it's a big national, celebration of a day. It's usually the first Saturday in June, which this year I guess falls on June 4th. And it's what it is. It's basically just a day to celebrate trails.
Okay.
And actually, we came trails. We're actually going to be doing an event down at the North Street Trail, the North Street Community Trail. We have a few vendors coming down. We have tables,
Cool.
trail information. We have demos. We have kids activities. We're actually in the works. I don't know what they're going to do, but we're going to partner with Corey Road to have one big continuous.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah. I've actually got. They told me that they're planning coming down. Which I actually got to create an event page and put it up. I don't know if you're familiar with the Living Water Community Church. They have their free food cart.
They do quite a bit.
They said they're planning to come down from 11 to 1. They're going to come down and do free food for us,
awesome.
so have food. And
Good deal.
so, just make a day of our event actually runs from 11 to 2.
11 to 2.
And we're looking to do some demos, some safety demos. We're hoping to get maybe a few other things, and once I create the page, we can add to it. But like I said, it's just a fun day to come out, and it'd be a good opportunity too. A lot of people have not been on the story walk, story walk. To come down and do the story walk. I'm hoping. I haven't talked to them yet, but hopefully they hear me. They can reach out to me to just have somebody come down and do a little guided tour of the story walk. Every so often to kind of the story, and
Kids love story walks.
oh yeah, I mean it's. Especially too, and we get a lot of pictures. I know there's quite a few pictures we get down on that trail is actually turtles. There's a lot of the painted turtles down there.
I have a habit of giving sand. There's a couple females that I've been following the last several years, and I follow them with bags of sand in the springtime. I've wasted so much money
I have
buying
no
bags
idea
of
what
sand.
you're talking about.
The turtles, when they come up to lay their eggs,
Yeah.
well, they love laying their eggs in sand.
Oh.
So instead of what they'll do is they'll dig down to the line of the sand in the mud.
Yep.
And it incubates them pretty much. But yeah, I follow them around and I'll give them a 50-pound bag of sand. And the problem is
so you're the culprit that's giving. You're the culprit that's giving them the sand.
don't tell anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a word.
But
It's just us and Facebook that knows.
yes, but yeah, but what they'll do is they'll lay their eggs on it, and it incubates their eggs, and but yeah, they don't always lay. They'll move it and they'll get it comfortable, and then they'll just go elsewhere.
Another actually hidden gem on that too about the North Sea commuter trails. A lot of people don't know it's not motorboats, but there's actually during the summer there's actually a dock that's there.
Yeah,
like canoes. You can launch. I think canoes.
Yeah,
and
it's
kayaks.
carrying only.
Carrying only.
Carry
Yeah.
on.
And I'll tell you, it's actually you go down there sometimes, especially if you go over the bridge on North Street, and you actually see people kayaking down there. Yeah, people do fishing there.
I want to do way more. So I started kayaking last summer. That was really cool. I want to try more of it this year.
Yeah, we.
It's actually nice too, because the Messalonskee. If you actually go there, the Messalonskee is actually fairly calm.
Yeah, it's a real easy.
That's good. I don't swim.
Yeah, no, it's a real easy place to.
I mean,
to kayak.
I've heard some people say there are a couple spots where it does get a little choppy.
Yeah, depending on the weather.
Well, they said the weather, and I think they said you get down towards, can't remember where. There's a certain section by Oakland, Lewis by Oakland, that area where there's a little bit
where the bend is.
It's ledge, yeah, and there's like ledge under there. So what it is, it's the water hitting the ledge, and it kind of makes it a little wavy, I mean, it's not something where
it's not super bad.
White water, but it's enough where you're gonna feel yourself doing this kind of thing.
I'll skip that part.
It's not bad.
It's not something that's going to tip you.
No,
okay.
It's just something where it's one of those things where somebody told me it's like if you're a beginner to kayaking,
you're going to be a beginner.
Yeah, but you're going to be kind of that white knuckle paddle kind of, riding it out a little bit, not trying to paddle, but it's not something.
I was gonna say, I know when you get by the trestle there, it picks up a little bit, but then it slows right down. Because I can remember when I was a kid. We used to jump off the bridge. Don't do this. This is completely against the law now. It's posted and everything.
Exactly.
So don't do it.
Yeah, the cops show. If you go by and you're on that bridge,
you're getting a ticket.
You're definitely.
But yeah, we used to jump off the North Street Bridge there, and it was during a huge storm, and the Messalonskee was ripping. But we were floating from that bridge all the way to the trestle, and it's quite a ways.
Wow.
But yeah, I remember that. And all we had to do that day is just lay back and just tread water, and
that's cool.
It was fun. But yeah.
And the thing is I actually got a chance to do it one time. Go on the I've always been on the Messalonskee, especially that area, on the actual land. But actually, if you ever get a chance to actually go on down the stream, it's amazing. Just you get a totally different perspective of it.
I know
it looks totally different from from the land to the actual
right.
So speaking about the land part, moving down towards the high school, I think they put another public dock in right there because just recently I looked down in there and there's like a new part going down.
I think it's
the
high school because I know the high school does have canoes. They used to have canoes and they used to go on there.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I want to say I think it's a high school that does have.
Yeah,
I've seen them
by the
down there
superintendent
before,
building. Yeah. But yeah, I saw that. So because there was another part like where the bend is. There was a seating area. I used to walk my dog down and through there, and we used to sit in the morning. But it's a really nice area, especially when the sun's coming up. But
good.
Yeah. So
I mean, I'd say too another biggest thing is we have people ask us the two biggest things we have people ask us every year. One of them is like, especially now, it's like the spring. It's like, if you go on the trails, a little muddy. Is the trail safe to walk on? It's one of those things I always tell people, use your judgment. Don't go walking on the trail. If it looks like it's a mud pit, it may walk on it. It's going to dry, but then you leave the ruts in the ground, and then it's more maintenance for us. And eventually, it's too bad. We don't want to, but we've actually had to close trails down because of the damage is so bad that we have to get in there and fix it, or it makes it.
Wow.
I mean, if you can't get by in this certain section, you can roll it if you step in the wrong way. And the other biggest thing, I think every year I get 1 or 2 questions on the page is around hunting season. It's like, do I have to wear hunt orange? Is it open to hunting? The answer is actually the trails sections are closed to hunting, which is agreement with but unfortunately, especially you get to Oakland, some of the trails, they're not. The sections that border the trails.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just one of those things where, if you don't say, just wear the hunter orange in case.
Yeah, it's always a better idea just to be safe.
I think if you're
than
going
sorry.
We don't have
any type
we don't
of
have
foliage.
many, but yeah, I think it's like the trail in Oakland, the Messalonskee Stream Trail. There are some areas that, especially by like the Penn Stock and stuff like that, I really don't know what's open to hunting there.
I was
do
going
know
to
it's
say,
probably-
I know
there is some-
archery is open in a few
Yeah.
places that hunting's not, too. So I would
All the
imagine you
trails are
probably
actually
have to
close.
contend with that,
All the
too.
trails are actually close to hunting, but like I said, you've got that border land.
Right.
Right.
That,
it's someone else
even-
owns.
Butts up against
Even you
it.
get somebody that doesn't know about it. You've always get that one mistake, which I know happens.
You don't
you
want
get
to pull a Dick
right.
Cheney.
You get somebody that
Right.
doesn't know where they live. Not from here, and all of a sudden they get on the trail and they're like,
Out
"Oh,
of
nice
state.
wooded area," and come
Okay.
in and like, "Wait a minute here." Somebody catches them like, "This isn't actually open,"
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah, I think it's generally a good idea if you're going to be doing any foliage walking in.
Orange is my
Hunting,
favorite color,
yeah.
so it's always a good idea. to
Right,
wear
right. I
orange
mean, come on.
anyway.
They what was it? Orange is the new black.
Yeah.
So, hey.
I mean, a lot of
Good
people, it's
movie,
like, even if you don't want to wear a full full vest and the full like hat, the full, even just a hat,
Yeah.
a hat that has hunter orange, and like you can kind of tell. I tell people too, you can kind of tell the hunters. You see somebody walking in who's kind of does kind of look like they're holding something like this. You can see it sticking.
Right.
They're on the trail like, hey, just saw because hey, hiker, oh, by the way, this is actually not open, closed
Right.
hunting. And,
Only time I would think that you wouldn't
identify
have to do
yourself.
that necessarily is obviously on a Sunday, but
yeah. But, I mean,
except for poachers.
again, it's like actually the trailer event we're having, we're calling like Safe Trail. So it's going to be a lot this year because we had last year's theme about dogs. This will be more like safe, Again, it's just one of those things where common sense. A lot of it comes to
People don't have common sense anymore.
But hopefully try
sometimes.
to if it doesn't look safe.
Well, they
Don't
do
do
when
it
things
that
go
way.
ow, for the most part. I mean, I don't. I
maybe.
take that back. Never mind.
I
Hey,
mean,
I
if they
still-
hear a gunshot, obviously duck. But
Wow.
Hey, I still do stuff. I'll look. It's like, oh, what the heck is that? And all of a sudden, I was like, okay, I shouldn't have done that.
Every once in a while,
Yeah.
but
Hey, it's how they say that's how you learn. You
Hey.
you do it once, you won't do it again.
hey,
As
that's
they say.
that's true. I mean,
for the most part. Unless it's my kid. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh man, my kid's making me into a liar here.
I say it's amazing how you look back at our childhoods, how it's like how we survived some of the stuff we did when we were kids.
I don't even know. And
Well, see that brings me back too. The trail behind North Street there. I remember when that wasn't paved. I remember when there really wasn't a trail there. But I can remember as a kid we used to play back in there.
I remember
There was a little bit of a foot trail.
I remember as a
but-
kid we used to play at the that big pipe that big cement pipe that's there.
Yep.
We used to play in that cement pipe, play in
Yep,
that cement
we-
pipe
yeah.
all the time.
I've walked it. I know where it runs from. It runs
So
from there over to the by the hospital.
Yeah,
Over
so
on Eustace.
Until they put the gate there.
Yeah.
Then,
Wow,
they
that
put
gate.
the bars across, and you couldn't go in there anymore.
There was a way.
Yeah.
where there's a will, there's a way.
But you had to be small enough.
Yeah.
There was like one spot you could. There was a way that if you held on, you could get in. But
There's
yeah.
actually a chain link fence there now. There's
Good,
actually a chain link
good,
across
good.
it now.
I'd hate
Last time I
to-
knew there was.
I'd
Oh.
hate for someone to get in there and get hurt. But yeah,
we
used
say
to-
that, but you used to do that stuff when you were.
I know. But knowing what I know now,
The joys of being a parent, right?
yeah,
It's changed so much.
yeah, I'm glad they've made it difficult to get in. Because I remember the other side didn't even have nothing at the time, but it does now. 'Cause I checked it a few
Someone
years
is. I was
back, but-
reading something one day, and they asked him about his childhood, and he goes, if I would write a book about my childhood, he goes, it's probably in 40 chapters.
or get banned.
Well, no, he goes, he said probably the first 20 chapters would be stuff that I did that you don't want to do.
Right.
Don't do this at home.
Exactly.
Oh man, I see like you hear about like the helicopter parents.
Mm.
Like
Mm.
I think of that and like when than I think like what we used to.
We never had helicopter parents. I never had helicopter parents.
Could you imagine having like what we were as kids to a helicopter parent now? I think they'd end up in like
my kids sometimes don't even want to go outside alone. I'm like, go outside, go play. There's a trampoline, there's woods. Go count mufflers.
The era of technology that's I think done that, but I think that's another good thing about these trails is it does get the kids out.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the biggest thing we have is people ask, like, especially winters, like, are the trails open? The trails are open year round.
Yeah. I mean, if you can walk through them.
Well, like I said, I mean, right now you can walk, and especially, like even during the winter, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing.
I don't remember, do they plow the one behind North Street?
No, that is not plowed, no.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they did or not.
It's not plowed, but I think I've been on there before, and usually if you look...
It melts pretty
well, not just melts,
too.
but like right in the middle, you can see where, again, people walk
right.
and they kind of pack it down over.
Usually a pretty good path.
I know, again, like the Rotary Centennial Trail, that's not actually plowed.
No.
But that's, again, it's just one of those things where it's so well used that, people they'll pack it down. Like I said, even you can't, You
just use common sense. Like, me and my kids went out to use one of the Oakland trails when we still had ice on the ground. The one that's, the main trail in Oakland. But there's a big hill that goes down in the parking lot. I'm like, I'm not going to go down that hill because I won't make it up.
Yeah.
So we didn't go for a walk, obviously. But
right. But
so just use common sense.
Exactly. And like I said, it's even if like cross country skiing, you never been cross country skiing?
I have.
I'm saying the other people, it's like they look at trails usable. Go out and buy some cross country skis. Learn.
We do a lot of
we do a lot
of snowshoeing.
Yeah, that's it. Snowshoeing.
That's what we do in the
again,
winter.
like snowshoeing and.
I know the Quarry Road every now and again they have like
free ski
little event things that they put on for snowshoeing. I think they do stuff with the snow bikes too.
Yeah.
They got a whole bunch
What's
of
a snow bike.
A snow bike? Okay.
They call them like what they call. You ever see what they call like the fat tire bikes?
Fat tire bikes.
Yep.
The tires. That's what they base snow bikes. They're just the big
and
fat
then,
tires.
Yeah, and then they got the
studs
in them.
Whoa.
But you can ride them on the trails. It's kind of neat.
I was actually down there one day. They had their events. I was helping, but I took a break real quick and they're actually pretty cool. They're hard. I mean, they're not.
They're easier than you think, but they are hard.
I mean, let's put it this way: after I got off, compared to like a road bike, I ended up getting off, and I'm like, my calves were on.
You feel it.
I mean, they were burning for at least a good 20 minutes.
You ride it on a snow trail?
Well, I would imagine if you're used to it.
Yeah. Like me, I've never done it, so it's a different terrain to kind of ride on snow than it is to ride on,
But
like a road or dirt.
The one thing that they did, I know you could ride them on their trails, because they have the snowshoe and then the cross country. But the bike event that I remember, they made like a little thing in the parking lot.
Oh, cool!
Off to the side there, but it was more flat.
Yeah,
but it was still. Like, they brought the groomer in and graded a few things, and it was kind of neat how they did it. But
that's one of I think our biggest thing too is the trails. We try not to groom them and do much maintenance to them because we want them to keep more of that rustic,
the actual authentic feel.
Right.
Well, like you were saying, you came across a spot that you couldn't get in. That's happened to us. But there's another great thing about how this trail system is so intricately woven with other trails is.
Well, it could have went there somewhere else.
That's what I was gonna say. You can pretty much just drive around the corner, and there would be another. There'd be another trail.
Right, not quite that easy.
We actually have
Oakland,
people the Penn stop. They can't get the into that parking lot for the Messalonskee Stream Trail side, the town of Oakland side. But if you go down there, you'll not be surprised. You see a couple cars parked on the side of the road, and people going to the Penstock side.
Yeah,
and going that way. And
exactly. A little bit more of a drive, but
right.
Still fun though.
Yeah, it's definitely a gem, like you were saying earlier there, that we have buried in our backyards here.
And again, like I said, future plans. We're always looking for new places. Everybody has an idea of.
Always also looking for helpers.
Helpers, and the biggest thing is board members. We're not. I'll say we're not spring chickens. I'm actually the youngest on the. I'm actually the youngest on the. Well, no. Actually, we have another board member that's actually the youngest, so I'm the second youngest. So and if anybody ever wants to join the board, please just reach out to me on Facebook. Just go to the page, message me on Facebook if you're interested in joining the board, and we'd love to
Volunteer, donate.
Anything. That's the other biggest thing too is donations. You know, we're
You
always
guys have like a PayPal
yeah,
account
how
or
does
something?
that
we're
work if
actually-
somebody wants to donate?
we're actually fun. You know, we're always looking for donations. They can actually go on to. I'll try to put on there tonight too on the Facebook group, but it is on the actual website. Again, that's kmtrails.info. There is
Let's
actually
tag that on the.
there is actually a place on there. I think it says donation, and there's like I said, there's just basically on basically on the page too. It does have our address.
Okay.
You know, just send your tax deductible. We are a 501c3.
Good deal.
So we are a nonprofit. It is tax deductible, and just basically go down there and send it to. Yeah, okay. There is. If you click on, you just pulled up. If you click on the page, there is a donation.
Right there.
Yeah, you can.
PayPal.
Yeah,
It is PayPal.
You can use again if
Good
you use
deal.
PayPal. If you don't, we can always you can always just send send your donation to that address and.
Send a check
Yeah.
or a money order.
Yeah, again, just make the checks payable to Kennebec Messalonskee Trails, and any little bit helps. I mean,
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of people. We have some people say, "Well, I can't give too much." Like, you know what?
$5.
Exactly. If you can give $5, if you can give $10,
Anything
if you
helps.
can, you may have people. Somebody may out there may be able to give 1,000. Fine. Don't be that you have to give everything. I mean, $5. I've always tell people, it's like, well, I have a few, like I said, people tell me, well, I can't give. It's like, hey, if we have 10 people give us $5, that's $50.
Mm-hmm.
We have 20 people give us $5, that's $100, and that will go along. That can go a long way.
Yeah.
$100 in gas can cut clean a lot of trail up.
Exactly.
You should do some fundraising, more fundraising stuff on things like Facebook and stuff.
Well, we've done in the past. I think I was going to do one in March, but just everything's gotten so hectic lately. But I don't know if you noticed the scavenger hunts we've done. And,
Yeah, I was gonna say
those are fun, which are more like promote. Again, it's kind of like promotion, trying to promote, get people out on the trails.
Absolutely.
I'm actually thinking I'm hoping to do one. Probably again this summer. We'll do one this summer. I know we did one the fall. We've done a few that actually pretty successful. And actually, the last one we did, I think was the one in March. Is actually, get me if I'm wrong. I think it was Miss Fayou in Oakland. Miss Fayou's class.
Okay.
Great teacher. My kid had her.
Yeah, Miss Fayou actually, her class actually went out and found one of our things on the trail, the scavenger hunt. Her class won the $25. We usually give away a $25 chamber gift certificate.
Nice.
And her kids won it, so
That's awesome.
I think she said that their kids were going to get if they won, they're going to get a special treat. So hopefully,
good.
they got their special treat.
I would imagine they did.
But yeah, I mean, we've had other people win it. We're thinking hopefully do something again soon. I mean, it's fun. I mean, it gets you on the trails and, kind of get you, looking. And a lot of people, I had one person say, hey, I've never been on the trail they found it on. She goes, I've never been on this trail. I didn't even know this trail was even here. She said, I love it. So,
Well, that's one thing that, even though, like, I know most of the trail system, I'm still finding new stuff.
So
and like you were saying, it's because it's constantly growing.
something I don't know if you've been into, but something you should do on the trails is do geocaching. That's
we do that
wicked fun.
actually. Actually, we do have on the new map. There's a picture of geocaching. There is geocaching.
Sweet.
It's
Me and my
not,
kids do that sometimes.
It's
yeah,
not
the
really
geocaching
big.
box things.
Yeah.
Yeah, those kind of.
I mean, it's not really big, but it's not many people know about it. But we're thinking. I was actually talking to
It's
somebody.
fun. I've actually talked to a
about
bunch of people that I didn't know otherwise. That
Yeah,
do geocaching.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
yeah. We're actually thinking of trying to do something around that in the
Yeah.
future.
build and adapt to your own form type geocaching thing.
But again, like I say, before we get done, just have to plug again. You're looking at something to do June 4th. The North Street Community Trail off North Street. It's right across the street from the parking lot there, hospital.
Yep.
June 4th, 11 to 2. Come on down. We'll have a day family fun day, all 4 different
Great
events.
event.
And-
We'll share it.
Great place to bring the kids.
Definitely. We'll. I'm working probably today or tomorrow. Create a Facebook event, and again, even if you're not going to go, just click, hey, interested in going, and we'll add every time I get something new, we're going to add to it, and you never know, you may be interested, and all of a sudden you find the right events, like, hey, that's coming, that's going to happen, I'm going,
Exactly.
But yeah, it'll be fun for everybody. So yeah,
It is. It's a great time for the whole family. And it is. It's a family friendly event. And meet new people too. So definitely something to check out. But I think we're going to wind down here. So
Yeah. Well, it's been an hour.
Yes, it has. Again, we are in the downtown heart of Waterville in the shared studio. We are. I'm trying to think of.
I was going to ask if you were broken for a minute.
No. I was thinking because I
got to
wanted.
reboot you again.
No. I wanted to bring up that we may be having a guest on that does some things with recycling garbage, and it's kind of interesting what she's doing with this stuff. So
yeah, it'll be next week, right?
Yeah. So definitely
next week we might have 2 guests.
Yeah, so definitely stay tuned because we got some stuff in the works. But
and if you or anyone else want to be a guest, go to allsidesofkennebec.com.
Yeah,
and fill in the guest form there, right on the front page.
Yeah, we're always looking for guests. It doesn't have to be political, as you can tell with Scott.
Community-based, business-based.
We're definitely trying to get more info out to the community of what goes on in the community. So if you do something in the community, let us know. We'll help you get it out to some new people.
We will.
So definitely thank you for coming on to All Sides of Kennebec, Scott.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
And
fun.
Yeah,
This is our second time having you here.
Yes, I meant
second
to tell you.
Third time.
Second.
Yeah. So definitely thank you for coming back on to coming into a shared studios on All Sides of Kennebec. But I'm one of your hosts, Sean.
I'm Jeremy.
And until next time, remember,